having to have that sort of insight before you step into the real world is very helpful. And I feel like that would be very good for the future for people that need to know more than that.
I think that's a good idea because we're not really taught that. I believe will be very beneficial. So you can kind of plan ahead before getting onto the housing market ladder.
Yes, I think that would be really beneficial to a lot of people this age that don't know how to and want to learn.
The cost of living crisis is a long-term issue in the UK. Many see this move as a timely step forward, ensuring the next generation can make informed financial choices. Other key changes will revolve around more content on climate change, better representation of diversity, and cutting exam times. Back to you in the studios.
New York City elected a new mayor yesterday. Here is Grayson Gilliam with more.
Zohran Mamdani is the new mayor of New York. At 34 years old, the first Muslim mayor and the youngest in centuries. Mamdani took to social media to connect with young voters. After becoming an online phenomenon, New York City rallied around him. He had the largest volunteer effort in city history, a campaign built on grassroots and community. He appeared in bodegas, bingo halls, clubs, and at cookouts. His strong connection to the communities and the people of the city, alongside his social media presence, is what won him the election. He has promised free public buses, lower childcare costs, and higher minimum wage. His main goal was to make the city accessible, not only to the wealthy, but to the people and the families that made New York what it is today. New Yorkers are full of hope for the future of their city and excitement for the new mayor. Congratulations, Mamdani.
Pressure is building on the government to explain the reason how an Ethiopian asylum seeker was accidentally released from immigration detention. David Lammy faced criticism today by the MPs in the Commons, expressing his regret over the incident. Opposition MPs pressed him on this, leaving Lammy appearing frustrated.
They left our prisons on the brink of collapse entirely, threatening to allow offenders to run wild on our streets. He knows that. Rape victims waiting years for their day in court. He knows that. We are tackling knife crime. That's why it's falling. 13,000 more bobbies we are putting on the streets, kicking out 5,000 foreign criminal offenders. I've got to say to the honourable gentleman, he should do better.
Chancellor Rachel Reeves plans on potentially increasing taxes in the annual budget. Theodora Mellor has more information.
In Rachel Reeves' pre-budget speech, she has refused to rule out a rise in taxes for the upcoming autumn budget. Inflation is currently at 3.8%, almost twice as high as the current 2% target range. But what will this mean for you? Well, it's been reported by experts that she'll need to raise taxes to total around £3 million. Reeves said in the speech that we each must do our bit. This potentially foreshadows a rise in tax for the working class. You'll find out more on the 26th of November when the annual budget comes out. Over 5 decades ago, the same thing happened with Denis Healey, the former Labour Chancellor, in 1975. He raised the tax budget from 33% to 35%. Politics in 1975 and now are very similar, both inheriting a damaged economy and both going back on their word not to raise tax for the working class. All we can do now is wait for the budget and see if Labour will go back on their manifesto. I'm Theodora Mellor, and this is Byte News.
The cost of living is still affecting many households, with electricity bills on the rise. Our correspondent Denise Zama has more.
Chancellor Rachel Reeves is expected to announce plans to scrap the 5% VAT on household electricity bills in the November budget, aiming to ease pressure during the cost of living crisis. The change could save families around £80 to £90 a year, but cost the Treasury more than £2.5 billion. Experts warn it may backfire, saying higher energy households would benefit most, while low-income families see little difference. They also caution it could reduce funding for green energy and slow progress on climate targets. Savings will depend heavily on how much electricity each home uses. The final decision is expected later this month.
Marks & Spencer's profits were nearly wiped out after a major cyber attack earlier this year. Hekmat Hassan reports more on the story.
The London-based clothing, food, and homewares giant Marks & Spencer has seen its profits almost wiped out after a major cyber attack. The hack hit back in April and took the store's online shopping offline for months. Even stores were affected. Some shelves went bare. Pre-tax profits plunged from nearly £392 million last year to just £3.4 million this year, a 99% drop. Now, the retailer says it's recovering and looking to a strong Christmas to get profits back on track.
A UK pressure group have been calling for a government inquiry into the cancer-causing pregnancy drug, popular in the 1950s. Emma Moulton joins us in the studio with more. Emma, who is the pressure group and what are they calling for?
DES Justice UK are calling for exactly that, justice for the victims of diethylstilbestrol, commonly known as DES. There are compensation schemes in place in the Netherlands and the US for victims of the drug, and now more than 300 people are calling for UK government to do the same. Amongst them is MP for Bournemouth West, Jessica Toll, who spoke in Parliament about the cause on Monday.
And who is likely to be a victim of the drug?
The drug was popular in the 1940s to 70s for preventing miscarriage and premature labour, as well as for emergency contraception and treating menopause symptoms. However, the victims of the drug extend much further than these patients, as generations of their children are more likely to face infertility, reproductive abnormalities, and cancer. If you believe you may be an individual affected by this drug, DES Justice UK encourage you to join them.
Thank you, Emma. In a surprising turn of events, Jeremy Corbyn is set to star in a London Christmas pantomime. Alexandra Zarnoch has more.
In terms of culture news this week, former Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn will make an on-screen cameo as the Wizard of Oslington in a drag production of Wicked Witches at a North London theatre. They're offering an adults-only and a PG version. Speaking on the news, Corbyn said, "The theatre has been at the heart of our community for 30 years, and local theatres like this deserve our support. Panto brings people together."
As it is becoming colder, there are many people out who struggle to keep warm. We have sent our reporter Cassia Steele to see a charity that helps with this.
Today, I'm at Ealing Broadway Shopping Centre, where the charity Call for London has a donation booth where they are collecting coats and jackets until the 21st of November.
Calling for London is a charity that started in winter 2010, and that is all about helping different Londoners in poverty during winter by donating clothes. If you would like to be a part of this, you can either come to this donation booth or go to the website and find one that is local to you.
I am Cassie Steele, and this is Byte News.
As tonight is bonfire night, we had Ralph Green go to a local fireworks shop for some safety tips.
As you may know, tonight is Guy Fawkes Night, and with big display shows comes big explosions. And with big explosions comes big responsibility. I'm here outside the fireworks firm here in Gunsbury to discuss all things fireworks, from sales to safety.
My name is Freddie Lee Hell.
What would you say are your top three fireworks safety tips?
So I would say sparklers. Make sure that once you finish with a sparkler, you drop it into a bucket of water so no one accidentally touches it. So next is rockets. Stick the tube into the ground first, and then we get a rocket and we put the rocket into the tube like that. And then the rocket will freely flow up in the air.
And there you go. That is how you stay safe on the most cracking night of the year.
Next, Kareem Beckett-Edwards has this week's football news.
The Champions League this week had incredible matches. First, Liverpool hosted Real Madrid at Anfield, where they won 1-0 thanks to Alexis McAllister's header. Arsenal won 3-0 thanks to Saka and Mourinho's goal. And it was a debut for Max Dowman, who became the youngest player ever in Champions League history. Tottenham also continued their winning streak thanks to an incredible solo goal from Mickey Van Dan, and also goals from Brennan Johnson, Odegaard, and Paulinho. That's all your sports roundup. I've been Kareem Beckett-Edwards. Back to the studio.
That's all the time we have for today. Be sure to follow us on our socials at Byte News 00. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.